Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for the 2025 UNSW Science Information Evening. My name is Lena Kaligaros and I have the pleasure of being your MC tonight. As a member of the Future Students team at UNSW, I work closely with students considering a future at science at our university. We have an exciting evening planned for you, filled with insights from current students, academics and staff. Let's get started and explore the world of science at UNSW together. To get us started, you'll hear from Professor Jez Summit, the Deputy Dean, External Engagement, about UNSW, our impact and what makes us different, followed by Associate Professor Shannon Maisie, our Deputy Dean Education, and our exciting degree offerings and pathway opportunities. Joy Chen, our Faculty Recruitment Officer, will then dive into our work-integrated learning opportunities, industry partnerships, STEM career opportunities, and our Talented Students program. You'll also hear from two of our current students, Gaia and Sam, to talk about their experiences at science at UNSW. Finally, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions and get them answered from our panel of current students, academics and staff. Plus, this session will be recorded and shared afterwards, complete with closed captions for your accessibility. Don't miss this chance to engage with them. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Professor Jez Summit to welcome you.
Thanks, Lena. It's my pleasure to be here tonight and thank you for joining us. My name is Professor Jez Summit and I am the Deputy Dean, External Engagement at UNSW Science. Before we get into our session, it's important that we acknowledge country. I respectfully acknowledge the Bidjigal and Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of the land where I am on, our Kensington campus. I recognise their continuing connection to the land, water and community, and also pay my respect to elders past and present, and extend that respect to any First Nations people joining us tonight. Science has evolved. UNSW Sydney is a world-leading university that's driving progress that benefits everyone. At UNSW Science, we're all about making a positive impact on society, transforming lives through top-notch research and education. Whether you're into oceanography, neuroscience, biotechnology or quantum physics, a science degree here opens up a world of career possibilities. So why UNSW Science? Well, we are one of the largest and most diverse science faculties in Australia, with 8 schools and over 30 study areas. No matter your passion, you'll find a degree to advance your career with us. We have 9 subjects ranked in the top 50 globally, including study areas like material sciences, geology, mathematics, environmental sciences, and more. And we have a strong focus on connecting students to both industry and research partners early on in their degree, ensuring that our science students are well connected to our network of over 400,000 plus industry partners before they even graduate. UNSW Science is at the forefront of scientific discovery, teaching and innovation. Collaborating is at the heart of making impact and at the heart of UNSW Science. Pact for Impact is an Australian first, collective commitment to define and measure the impact we make through science. I wanted to call out some of our amazing academics and researchers who are making an impact. Dr. Mariana Pinto is the co-leader in the Living Seawalls project, where they have designed and installed hundreds of 3D printed panels mimicking the natural habitats of the ecosystems, such as rock pools, to increase biodiversity and marine life in our Sydney harbour and around the world. Within just 1 to 2 years, Living Seawalls research suggests modular panels increase biodiversity by up to 36% compared with plain, unmodified seawalls, similar to natural rocky reefs, which are known hotspots of biodiversity. UNSW's hydrogen fuel cells team, led by Dr. Quinton Meyer and Professor Chuan Zhao, are powering the aviation industry towards net zero. Associate Professor Fatma Vafe leads a research and development team building an advanced artificial intelligence platform to fast-track the discovery and development of new drug combinations. Globally, there is high demand for science skills, and here in Australia, employment outlook according to the National Skills Commission's Employment Outlook for 2021 to 2026 is predicted to grow by 14.2%, which is twice as fast as non-STEM jobs. Rapid advances in artificial intelligence, big data, climate science, energy solutions, quantum computing, and healthcare are set to transform the jobs of tomorrow. According to a recent report by the Institute for the Future, 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been invented yet. A UNSW science degree provides transferable skills that can be applied across a range of professions and industries. We often get asked, what careers are available with a science degree? Today's scientists aren't limited to white lab coats. A science degree can lead to careers in public policy, data science, environmental preservation, aviation product manufacturing, psychology, forensics, finance, and beyond. The possibilities are endless. In fact, in 2019, Apollo Communications released a report on the top 50 CEOs in Australia, which revealed that there were more science graduates than any other disciplines. Not only is demand high for STEM careers, but the roles are also incredibly well paid. Keep watching to hear about our Bachelor of Data Science and Decisions, if the data architect salary excites you. Our students are picking science because they want to have an impact and drive change in their communities, be that health and well-being, driving economic growth, or maybe finding renewable solutions. Finally, our science students stand out due to their top employment outcomes, strong industry partnerships, career readiness, and global community involvement. With a UNSW science degree, you'll be prepared for whatever comes next. That's all from me. I'll hand over back to Lena. We hope to see you at UNSW in the future.
Thank you, Jez, for the great introduction to UNSW. Next, I'm excited to introduce Associate Professor Shannon Maisie. Shannon is the Deputy Dean Education at UNSW Science. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you. As Lena mentioned, my name is Associate Professor Shannon Maisie, and I'm the Deputy Dean Education here at UNSW Science. I also teach at the School of Chemistry and do a lot of first-year teaching. So tonight I'll be taking you through some of our degree offerings. Please make sure you drop your questions in the chat so we can get to them during the Q&A later on. So as Jez mentioned, we offer a wide range of study options from aviation to mathematics and statistics, engineering, or material science engineering, medical chemistry, biotechnology, and environmental sciences. So we have over 30 study areas. There's 14 undergraduate degrees, plus a wide range of double degree options as well. We have pretty much a degree that is going to equip you with in-demand skills that can be applied in a huge range of careers and industries across the world. So what I'm going to do tonight is dive into our most in-demand degrees, looking at the idea that the faculty's flagship programs, so we have our Bachelor of Science and our Bachelor of Advanced Science honours, as well as talk you through some of our more specific science degrees as well. The Bachelor of Data Science and Decisions, the Bachelor of Psychology Honours, the Bachelor of Psychological Sciences, and our Bachelor of Medical Science as well. So with the relaunch of our Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Advanced degrees last year, I want to tell you a little bit about how we did that and how it's going to really benefit students like yourselves. So we engaged a range of students, our science graduates, industry partners, to really understand what it is that a science graduate needs from a science degree. We use these insights to redesign the degrees to really meet the changes that's going on in the world and to ensure that our science students, as they go off into the world, they're supported to pursue what they need in their professional life and their professional goals. So students who choose one of these degrees are eligible to explore all sorts of flexible options within the degree structure. There is a lot of different disciplines that a student can explore, and in their first year they can spend a bit of time doing that to find out what's right for them. If you already know what major you want to do, then great. We can absolutely give you a guide for what you should study, and then you can go and tailor your degree from the start. And there's things like declaring a second major, or you might always want to do like a minor as well in your study. And the thing is, you can always change what discipline you're studying within your degree. It's what's really nice about a flexible degree. You need to do it a little bit sooner rather than later. If you do it a bit too late, it can take a bit of extra time, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen. So there is a lot of flexibility in these programs. So I'm going to talk a little bit in detail about our Bachelor of Science, first of all. So this is a really great 3-year degree. It's available either as a single degree, or you can double it up into a double degree as well. There's 27 majors, so lots of choice and variety available for you. And you can tailor your degree to, really fit your interests and career goals. And the way you can do that is by looking at the electives in the course. So I'm going to start with the idea of what we call work integrated learning, or you might know that as something like an internship. They've been embedded into this degree. This is really something that we put, first and foremost, is really to allow students to see what skills they will need in those real world contexts and get that informed from our industry partners and research partners as well. So in a Bachelor of Science, you'll do a lot of that kind of hands-on career-focused learning. We have built into the program the employability experience courses. So at least 2 of your courses will be in that space as well. We also have a really great a 0 unit of credit course called Introduction to University, and that's been developed by our world-leading School of Psychology in order to help everybody embed and come into university on the best foot. So you're going to be really great, well prepared as a UNSW student, not only for coming in to study, but also going on beyond. In your final year in Bachelor of Science, you'll do a graduate portfolio, and that is something that's available for you to showcase your skills, your strengths, not just for you, but also out for prospective employers and the world to be able to see. And what that looks like and how you do that is up to you as well, but it is embedded into the program. So I would say Bachelor of Science, I think just get excited, get ready to embark on a really great academic journey with that program. The other, really flagship program we have is our Advanced Science Honours degree. And so that little bracket honours tells us that it's a 4-year degree, and it has that final year is an honours year. So that is where you spend a lot of the time in your final year doing research in a school in the university. And it's available as a single or a double, like the Bachelor of Science is. But it also has its own unique features to it. So it's similar to the Bachelor of Science in it has that foundational year where you tend to do more advanced courses. You can choose to do some of the introductory courses as well if you need to, but a lot of students choose to do the advanced courses in this major before they choose their major as they go through. One of the key differentiating parts is that research integrated learning is embedded into this degree. So this research integrated learning, of course, at a university like UNSW is really a great option to get you knowing what research is from the core as you come in your first year all the way through your program. Like the Bachelor of Science, you do the Introduction to University course in your first term to get you really prepared and ready, and you also have that graduate portfolio at the end as well to really showcase who you are and what you've been doing throughout your 4-year degree. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those core research training courses. So in those courses, you will learn really to apply scientific thinking, and it's in meaningful context. So we look to make these research projects around really core critical issues that are pertinent to everybody in the world, as well as some of the really leading edge research that's being done at UNSW. So those immersive research experiences, what's really great in the Bachelor of Advanced Science is they start in your first year and they continue every year until you finish in that final honours year. The other option that we have, which is extracurricular, it's called our Talented Students program. And this is a really exciting program for high-performing students to have extra opportunities to engage with that cutting-edge and world-class research at UNSW Science. And a lot of students find that they start in their TSP program, they go on and do in their honours and get really well to know all the researchers and so forth in that program. So as I mentioned, the students in the Bachelor of Science can choose from 27 majors, and our students from the Bachelor of Advanced Science have 24 majors. There's quite a lot of overlap there. There's a few more in the Bachelor of Science. So in our 3-term calendar, we actually have a lot of options and balance for students to, I guess we'll say, to balance their work and study a little bit as they work through their degrees. And you can tailor your study plans. There's a lot of courses that you can take that enable those, what I talked about previously, those research and work integrated learning opportunities. And that's where you spend that whole term immersed in that project or in that internship. And students also have the opportunity to study abroad in both programs for a term. So what you can see on the screen here is the list of the majors that are available in the two programs. You can study a single major, and for some combinations you can study a dual. We have some of the most robust majors as well, you'll find, and so a lot of students do choose to do a single and maybe take a minor in another one. Some of our majors, just to name a few, I guess, chemistry that's my personal favourite, coming from chemistry. This major is for students who wish to specialise in, chemical sciences, and there's a broad range of applications in there. Pharmacology looks at the efficacy of drugs and the ability of the body to metabolise them, the toxicological side effects, and so forth. Psychology is the study of human behaviour, mental processes. Have a look at another one. Marine and coastal sciences explores all aspects of the marine environment, from biology to geology and many of the sciences in between. So there's really lots of options there for you to explore. We have, what I find really exciting is we have 40 complementary minors. So these are minors across a range of disciplines in science, as well as languages, government development and policy, commercialisation and business. And some new science minors in our disciplines, we have an astronomy minor, and we have also a professional workplace practice minor, which includes that compulsory work placement for students who really want to go out there and use their degree in a more formal business setting. So before I move on to our more specialist options, I want to talk about our double degree options. So UNSW Science has a lot of double degree combinations. You could combine, your whatever your ambition and your science, your passion is, but with science. So for example, you'd be surprised how many students elect to do the science arts degree. We have a lot of students who are engaging in music, for example, in that. Double degrees, they allow you to follow what you're interested in and also carve out your career pathway, to kind of put that balance of your personal and your career passions together. So jump onto our website, or pop your question in the chat as well about the potential double degree options that are available for you with a UNSW Science degree. So students in the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Advanced Science Honours will also have access to SciConnect. So this is a new digital platform that we've developed, and it's integrated across your program. And really it becomes the heart of those two programs. So this innovative online platform really is designed to enhance your whole experience across your degrees. We're going to play a short video now for you to understand a bit more detail about SciConnect and understand the platform more.
SciConnect is integrated into your Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Advanced Science Honours degree at UNSW. It helps you transition to university, track your learning, and showcase your skills. Find everything you need to know about life as a UNSW Science student in the interactive guides. Explore areas of study and make choices based on your interests or career goals. Build your toolkit to succeed as a student. See your skills grow and identify your strengths and development opportunities. Connect with like-minded peers to explore your passions and be supported. We can't wait for you to find your place in our diverse and passionate UNSW Science community. If you have any questions, reach out to us at sciconnect@unsw.edu.au.
As you can see, SciConnect is designed to help our students settle into university, track your professional skill development, and showcase those skills for future employers. The platform connects you to key areas such as orientation, co-curricular opportunities, career development, and that graduate portfolio. So it's really about empowering you to shape your own university journey, and really it's about you being a well-rounded graduate as you go through and look for potential employers. Recently, we've launched our Career Explorer section. It showcases 850 graduates and their career pathways post-graduation, but also what they were doing to get to that point. We've introduced the Career Worm. So this is the part that guides students through what you could probably engage in throughout your degree in order to get to those outcomes of those graduates. So it's suggesting things like pathways for you to engage in activities like clubs and societies. It highlights the types of majors and minors that might help you to get to those outcomes and indicates whether an undergraduate or a postgraduate degree is what you're going to need to get there. Finally, it also provides some information around salary or wages for students to get an idea of what industries are currently paying graduates. So really, it's the ultimate tool for mastering university life, and I'd say SciConnect's really close to my heart. It's something that I think is a real game changer for university and science students at UNSW. So I have talked you through our two flagship programs, Science and Advanced Science, but I also want to take you through some of our other specialist undergraduate degrees that are available in the Faculty of Science. So we know that the world runs on data, and a vast number, the volume of data is just immense. So globally, we're looking at around 175 zettabytes daily being produced of data. So I guess stop and have a think. Imagine that, as a graduate, you have the power to transform raw data into actionable insights and really drive business success and policy improvements using your skills. So the Bachelor of Data Science and Decisions is the degree you're looking for if that's something that appeals to you. It's a 3-year degree and it's taught across 3 renowned schools and it's accredited by the Australian Statistical Society. So according to SEEK, which is a company that provides insights into the Australian job market, in Australia alone, the demand for data scientists is expected to grow 11% over the next 5 years. So this program will prepare you to compile, interpret and act on data in ways that make a really big impact in the world. You'll study 24 courses combining training in mathematical methods, statistics, computing and business. You'll choose from one of 3 majors. So there's the business data science, quantitative data science and computational data science majors. Each major offers a unique blend of expertise, but all have a focus on data analysis and interpretation methodologies. They're going to help you to better inform business decisions and policies. So career opportunities for data science span many industries. You've got startups, established corporations, like including Coles, Airbnb, Spotify, Netflix, Greenpeace, and just to name a few that I'm aware of. So as I said earlier, the demand for data science is really growing, and becoming a data architect is even more appealing now, with the average salary being $175,000 a year. So as a data scientist specialist, you will work across every sector in industry. So the next degree I'll talk to you about is the Bachelor of Medical Science. This 3-year degree is jointly taught by the Faculty of Medicine and Health and the Faculty of Science and lays the foundation for a career in biomedical research. Medical science is the foundation on which the practice of medicine is built, meaning it's also a suitable first degree for those planning to enter a postgraduate medical or paramedical program. The medical science students can choose from 9 majors, covering the structure of cells and chemistry through cell and molecular biology and biochemistry, the human body's structure and function in anatomy and physiology, disease processes in pathology, the role of microorganisms and disease in microbiology, and drugs used to treat disease in pharmacology. Other study areas include genetics, embryology, immunology, and neurobiology. You can choose to study a single or a double major and expand your knowledge base. So in your first year, you'll study courses in anatomy, chemistry, cells and genetics, and then move on to microbiology, physiology, and more advanced courses in your second year. Students also have the option to take electives from the School of Biotechnology and Biomolecular Sciences and the School of Medical Sciences in their third year. In that time, they can study courses in cancer pathology, musculoskeletal diseases, neuropharmacology, and just a bunch more. You can name a few. So we're really lucky to have Gaia with us tonight, who is currently studying this program. So jump into the chat and ask her a question for the panel later about the program. So according to a 2024 report by the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, the public health sector is set to continue to grow due to a range of social factors, and the number of registered healthcare professionals in Australia has increased by 37%, with more job growth forecasted. The Bachelor of Medical Science will allow you to make a positive impact and provide critical support to the further of healthcare in Australia. You can work in a variety of fields across medical research, forensic science, medical laboratory science, pathology, patents, and intellectual property. At UNSW, we are a global leader in psychology research and education. If you're interested in the study of the human brain and its functions, our School of Psychology has 2 degrees that might be of interest to you. The Bachelor of Psychological Science is a 3-year degree in psychology with a complementary major in a related discipline. If you wish to become a registered psychologist, this is the first step in a 6-year pathway to becoming a registered psychologist. The degree explores the science of human behaviour, mental processes, and provides you with an understanding of the brain, cognitive and decision-making processes, as well as mental health. Students will study the accredited psychology sequence. However, in addition to this, students are also allowed to study a complementary major outside of science. So there's 9 majors that a student can choose from. It includes criminology, human resource management, linguistics, marketing, neuroscience, philosophy, and vision science. So upon completion of the program, students may choose to complete an additional 4th year in the program, psychology honours. Studying psychology doesn't mean you'll end up working as a registered psychologist, though. There are many career pathways that you might consider along the way. Interestingly, only about 15% of people who study a psychology degree actually end up as a psychologist. Psychology actually informs a range of different industries, and the number of jobs in this space is increasing. Within the next 5 years, jobs are expected to increase by about 30%, according to the Job Outlook. Potential roles that you might consider after this degree are human resource specialist, marketing research analysis, either school counsellor, a sports psychologist, or even a community services manager. The program is accredited by the Australian Psychology Accreditation Council, which is really important for that 6-year sequence I've talked about. The Bachelor of Psychology Honours is a 4-year degree with an integrated honours year. This degree is made up of 24 courses, and like the Psychological Sciences degree, you're required to complete a set number of psychology core courses to meet those accreditation requirements. In their 4th year, students in this program conduct a year-long major independent research project, and that's completed under the guidance of an academic supervisor, and you write a thesis based on the project. As this degree has an embedded honours year, students are still required to reach a specific mark to be eligible for honours. And honours is the next step towards becoming a registered psychologist in that 6-year program. So, as I was saying above, according to the Job Outlook, about 7,500 jobs will be generated in psychology. So even though this degree has an embedded honours, students are still required to reach a specific mark to be eligible for that final honours year. Honours is the next step to becoming a registered psychologist in that 6-year sequence we spoke to earlier. Upon graduation of that last sequence, the master's program, you can become a registered and practiced psychologist with this program. One of our graduates completed both her undergraduate and master's in psychology at UNSW. Sachita Gorale now works as a general manager for player development and wellbeing at the Australian Cricketers Association. She states psychology actually applies to every aspect of working life, and I agree with her. Unfortunately, I don't have time to talk in detail about all the great degree options at UNSW Science, so I encourage you to use the website to explore our other programs like the Bachelor of Science in Advanced Mathematics and the Bachelor of Biotechnology, and there's lots more that you could explore on that website as well. So that's all for me now, and I'll be back in the Q&A a bit later. So if you have any questions, please remember to post them in the chat. So back to you, Lena.
Thank you, Shannon, for all your insights. Now, there is more than one way to gain entry to UNSW. If you're eligible, there are many pathways that you could consider, combined with your ATAR or equivalent, that may assist you in meeting our entry requirements. We have different entry schemes and alternate pathways that you could consider. Our schemes include the UNSW Gateway Admission Pathway, UNSW Indigenous Admission Scheme, and the UNSW Indigenous Preparatory Programs. Our alternate pathways include UNSW Prep, the University Preparation Program, which is the Mature Age Pathway, UNSW College Diplomas, and TAFE. I'll go into these in a little more detail. The UNSW Gateway Admissions Pathway is an early offer scheme to UNSW for students in Year 12 who either attend a gateway school or whose home address meets the socio-indexes for areas CEFA criteria. You may be eligible for this pathway based on meeting the eligibility requirements you can see on the slide here. If successful, you'll receive either an unconditional or a conditional offer. An unconditional offer guarantees entry to your chosen program provided you receive an ATAR, while a conditional offer means you'll be eligible if you meet or exceed a reduced minimum ATAR. Further, our Gateway program also offers awards and scholarships for eligible students. You can view more information regarding this pathway with the link we've put into this chat. You could also consider UNSW Prep, which is a one-year pathway to a science degree. There are specific entry requirements you must meet to be considered eligible. They include being assessed and eligible for UNSW's Access Scheme via the Educational Access Scheme in UAC or UNSW's Gateway Admissions Pathway. You must be 17 to 19 years on the 1st of March 2025. The older applicants should apply for the University Preparation Program. There are more entry criteria that needs to be met, so jump on the website with the link on the screen to determine your eligibility. For science, once you have successfully completed the program, you can move to the Bachelor of Science. You'll study subjects that develop your academic skills so that you can get the most out of your degree. You'll also study degree-level courses to give you an introduction to university life. We will also add the link to the chat so you can review in your own time. UNSW College now offer a Diploma of Science. Once you have successfully completed the diploma and met the entry requirements, you are guaranteed entry into a second year of UNSW's degree, and in science's case, it'll be the Bachelor of Science. The entry requirements for this program are that you are an Australian Year 12 student and have an ATAR of 65. However, please note some diploma programs have specific subject minimum grade requirements and assumed knowledge. For non-recent high school leavers, we also accept completed AQF accredited diplomas and advanced diplomas from TAFE. Through this pathway, you may also receive recognition of prior learning for some of our degrees. The eligible science programs this allows pathway for are the Bachelor of Aviation Management and the Bachelor of Science. We've added the link in the chat now so you can explore your options further. We also recognise tertiary results if you're looking to transfer for another university. Now, I'll hand over to Joy, who will run through the UNSW student experience at UNSW.
Thank you, Lena. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to talk to you about the incredible student experience at UNSW. University life is so much more than just attending classes and studying. It's about the experiences you gain outside the classroom that contribute to your career opportunities and personal development. At UNSW, we have a vibrant campus life that offers countless opportunities for you to grow and thrive. Our student organization's ARC provides fantastic support services, hosting wellness weeks and other events to ensure you are taking care of your emotional well-being. These services are here to support you throughout your university journey. We have a wide range of societies at UNSW. There are societies related to your field of study and those based around hobbies, culture, sports, and more. Joining a society can be particularly beneficial as you meet students who are ahead of you in your studies. They can show you the ropes, share their experiences, and offer valuable advices. And as you progress, you'll have the chance to do the same for your younger students. With over 300 student clubs and societies, including many that are science-specific, you can pursue your passions outside the classroom, build leadership and teamwork skills, and make friends that from all across the university. Just to name a few, There's AVSOC, which is UNSW Aviation Society, Women in Science, UNSW GeoSoc, and many more. One of the best ways to enhance your university experience is by getting involved in volunteering clubs and societies. These activities are fantastic for developing critical communication, teamwork, and leadership skills, which are highly valued by employers. Plus, they're a great way to connect with like-minded peers and build lasting friendships. Another great way to make the most out of your degree is to take an internship while you are studying. At UNSW Science, every undergraduate student has an incredible opportunity to dive into work-integrated learning as part of their degree, ensuring you gain real-world experience, allowing you to connect with professionals in the field, build valuable networks, and develop skills that will make you stand out when it's time to start your career. In the past, students have interned with top IT companies, innovative startups, leading biomedical and biotechnology firms, as well as government departments and institutions like the Australian Museum and the Botanic Gardens. Some of our students have even taken their placement overseas, adding an international edge to their experience. But that's not all. You can also opt for our Science Industry Project course, where you'll develop essential teamwork, project management, and problem-solving skills. Engage with real-world science industry projects under the guidance of academic supervisors and industry mentors. Collaborate in multidisciplinary science teams to deliver impactful outcomes for industry partners. If research is your passion, our Research Integrated Learning program is your gateway to explore a research career. Embark on short theoretical or experimental research projects supervised by our esteemed academic staff. Through the UNSW Science Research Internship course, available to eligible undergraduate science students across all majors and specializations, you'll gain invaluable research experience. At UNSW Science, we also offer 6-week summer vacation research scholarships to talented undergraduate science students, allowing you to put your summer holidays to good use by gaining valuable research experience. Next, I want to introduce you to our Talented Student Program, or TSP. This program is all about connecting high-performing students in selected science degrees with world-class research at UNSW Science. In each term of your degree, you can participate in different research groups, expanding your horizons and experiences. If you have strong interest marks or perform well in the early stages of your degree, you might receive an invitation from the Dean of Science to join this elite program. And the very best part, the opportunity is available from your very first year. At UNSW Science, we understand that career planning can be overwhelming. That's why we created the STEM Career Launchpad, a career management program just for science students. This co-curricular program takes you on a personal career development journey alongside your academic courses. You'll earn professional development badges and awards, explore different STEM careers, expand your network, and gain relevant work experience before you graduate. So remember, university is not just about what you know in the classroom. It's about the experiences you gain, the skills you develop, and the connections you make. At UNSW, you'll have the opportunity to grow both academically and personally, setting you up for a successful future. Now, let me introduce to Gaia and Samuel, who are going to share their student experiences at UNSW. Over to you now, Samuel. Thanks.
Hey everyone, my name's Sam. I am a third-year student here at UNSW, currently studying a Bachelor of Advanced Science and majoring in chemistry. Just to give you some context, I come from a town called Goulburn, which is a rural town about an hour north of Canberra. I didn't know much about university in year 12, but after coming to a UNSW Open Day, I knew that this place was the right one for me. I went back home, did some research, and I came to UNSW through the Gateway program. But today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about my student experience as a science student here at UNSW, and in particular, some of the co-curricular experiences I've had. So the first major one I've had would be my undergraduate volunteer experience. So one of my first subjects I did here was like a science integration subject, and an assignment that I had to do was to write a mock application to a researcher or a group that I was particularly interested in. I actually chose to do a researcher here at the university, and at the end of the subject, I handed it straight into that researcher, and I actually landed my first volunteer undergraduate research experience. It was really, really good. It was my very first taste of research, which was really exciting for me. I felt very professional, but also I got some really good lab experience, which was important for my courses going forward. I got to do some research as well on origins of life chemistry, which is not something you get to do every day. The second experience that I've really enjoyed would have been my more industry-focused one. So I got to do something called a work integrated learning subject, and if you use university lingo, it's called a WIL. Essentially what it is a subject that you get to do work experience for, and it counts for credit towards your university degree. And also the experience has to be external to the university. So the one that I picked was a chemistry startup at a different university. It was a hydrometallurgy lab, so essentially that's extracting metals from ores in solutions chemically. And it was a very different experience for me because I got to actually work for a business and for a team, which was something that I hadn't got to experience before. And I also got to experience a lot of new techniques that I had never seen before in chemistry. And some other fun experiences I've had was that I went to a conference for this. You can probably see in my lecture slide, there's me standing next to a tractor. I got to go with my team workers, and yeah, it was really a good experience. The most important experience for me, though, so far has actually been the one I've completed recently, which is my summer vacational scholarship. That essentially entailed a 6-week full-time paid opportunity here at the university, where I got to work with a researcher for the summer period. I was a little bit nervous at first because I thought I'd sold away my summer holidays, but it was 100% the best decision I could have made. You can see some of the photos down there in the bottom of me, holding my sample. I got to work with a researcher and a lecturer that I'd actually met before, and we spent the 6 weeks synthesizing a molecule. It was by far the most fun I've ever had in a job, and it was really good because I got to experience what it was like actually doing research. Anyway, there's a little bit of a taster of what it's like to be a student studying science, and thank you for listening. I'll pass you on to Gaia.
Hi everyone, my name is Gaia. I'm currently in my 4th year at UNSW in my honours year of my Bachelor of Medical Science. I'm currently doing research on long COVID. I'm really enjoying it. Throughout my 3 years, 4th year now, I've had a really, really great time at the UNSW labs, which is where I spend most of my time. Made a lot of really great friends, a lot of collaboration in the labs, a lot of group work. In the photos you can see that I also got to grow my own bacteria in the School of Biotechnology and Biomolecular Science labs. I also did research integrated learning, which is also what kickstarted my honours project, because I was able to carry that forward with the same supervisor. So that's the photo in the bottom right. That's just me pipetting some antigens into some wells for an ELISA. UNSW also has really great opportunities for people that want to get involved in clubs and societies. So even though I was a science student, I also became the president of Musical Theatre Society, which has nothing to do with science. And then I was also a student ambassador last year and now this year, which is also one of the most rewarding things I've ever done at UNSW. Overall, I've had a really, really great experience. I found UNSW has sort of kickstarted my career in research, and I hope to continue forward and make new friends, learn so much more, and just continue where I'm at. Thank you guys for listening. Over to you, Lena.
Thank you, Joy, Sam and Gaia. It's great to hear about all the other opportunities students have when coming to UNSW. From industry connections, joining societies and building networks, to collaborating with their peers, which is all part of the university experience. So now we're going to move on to the Q&A, and we have lots of questions coming in the chat. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get through them all, so if we don't get to your question tonight, our future students advisors are always happy to answer at any time. Now, let's jump in. Great. So thanks so much all for being here. So we've got Gaia, Sam and Shannon all here to answer those questions that are coming through the chat. Now, Shannon, I may throw to you first. So this one is pretty interesting because I feel like we get this a lot, but what would you say is the main difference between the Bachelor of Advanced Science Honours and the Bachelor of Science?
Yeah, no, you're right. It is an interesting one because they're both really flexible degrees. And if you take them both as a single, you do get almost a whole year of electives that you can use to design and shape and choose minors and so forth. And they share that part. Where they differ is that the Bachelor of Science has slightly more majors available in it compared to the Bachelor of Advanced Science, so 27 versus 24. And that's just reflecting a broader flexibility we have overall in the science degree. The point of the advanced science degree, if you have a look at it, it has that little bracket honours on it. And what that means is that the honours year, that final whole year of your degree, the fourth year, is embedded into the program. And so everybody who's taking advanced science will be engaging in research. And so this is one of the reasons we've kind of really made a definition between these two, is that the students in the Bachelor of Advanced Science will take in year 1 and year 2, and then optionally in year 3, what we call research integrated learning. So this is targeted courses that are around developing your research skills, maybe working a little bit in some authentic research labs before you get into your honours year. And so this is, I guess, the research focus. It doesn't mean you have to be a researcher. It's just that you have that training from early on in your degree. The Bachelor of Science is a bit broader. It has what we call employability experiences built into it. So you can elect to do some research integrated learning in that space, but a lot of students choose to do work integrated learning, like you've heard about already, as well as other skill building exercises like communication, or maybe something more in the kind of industrial space as well. So that's really at the heart of it. I would say, the Bachelor of Science is the most flexible, and it's really you have options in there to go into research if you like, but the advanced science is really designed to train students for that research thinking early on. And so students in either degree can also have opportunities in the lab, but also in work integrated learning because of that kind of whole year of elective space.
Sam, that was this one's for you. So how did you come to choose the Bachelor of Advanced Science majoring in chemistry?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I knew that in high school that I really enjoyed science. I did biology, chemistry, physics. But coming out of year 12, I wasn't really certain what I wanted to do. I kind of had an idea that maybe chemistry or physics was going to be the thing for me, but yet again, I wasn't certain. So I did my research, and when I was applying to come to UNSW, I picked a Bachelor of Advanced Science. I looked at the subjects that I would have needed for a chemistry and also a physics major, and so I kind of planned my my first year subjects around that. They had a lot of overlap, which was good for me as well, and it was basically just a matter of going to university, doing the courses, and actually seeing what I enjoyed. And so by the time I got to the end of my first year, I had done enough chemistry and I'd done enough physics that I went, yep, chemistry is the right degree for me. So yeah, it was really the degree's flexibility that kind of afforded me that choice. Yeah.
That's really great to hear, and I guess that really highlights what Shannon was saying about that flexibility in those two science and advanced science degrees. Okay, Gaia, this one's for you. So someone's asking, what does the first year of a medical science degree look like?
Ooh, so in the first term we do a course called SCIF, which is kind of like an introductory course. It teaches you kind of how uni works and things like that. And then you sort of start with the basics of what you'll need for sort of the rest of your degree. So you've got Labs 1201, which a lot of science students do, like medical science students will do. And that's your like fundamentals. You'll look back on it a lot in second and third year as well. And then you've got your chemistry 1A, and then you'll do chemistry 1B, and then all of these sort of give you a little bit of taste of like it'll build on what you did in high school if you did biology and chemistry like I did, and if you did physics as well, that sort of feeds into the chemistry aspect, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, and then a lot more, it's not like school where you have like, you come in at 9 and then you leave at 3. your days differ, your weeks will differ from week to week as well. You might be in the lab one week, you'll have tutorials, you can have lectures, but yeah, that's first year.
Nice. Do you get to go in the labs in first year straight away?
Yes, you do.
That's exciting.
You do get to go into the labs first year. First week, you will be in the lab.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. For those that want to do the lab work, jump onto medical science. So I guess touching on what you kind of said, Gaia, Shannon, I might throw to you, but can students still study a science degree if they don't have the assumed knowledge?
Yes, I mean it's always, I think, a really good, if you're at the point where you can make some choices in your high school, to be studying some science courses, that would always be my first recommendation. But it's not the end of the world if you haven't got to that point yet. There are a couple of choices. So there's what we call bridging courses. So they're available for chemistry, maths and physics at the moment. They're quite condensed courses. They are mostly online, but there is sometimes some in-person elements to it. And they happen in that first term just before your university would start at the beginning of the year. Now, they're really great to brush up if you have a bit of foundational knowledge in those topics. The other option you can do is along the way, we have some introductory courses in first year. So they're really good choices to make if you are doing a degree with some electives. You get a little bit longer to get into the introductory material. And so that, again, they're available in chemistry and physics and maths, which is what we find most students are requiring when they come through. And the other thing just to keep in mind is that the point of first year is to get everybody onto the same page. And so, there is some adaptive approaches to learning, some, opportunities to maybe take a bit longer than other students are as you go through. So a lot of our first year courses have been designed to support students in that way as well.
Great, thanks so much. Okay, so I might throw to Samuel. Mm-hmm. What's been your favourite part of the science degree at UNSW so far?
I think my favourite part, the first thing that came to my head was actually the extracurricular part, which is the summer vocational scholarship that I just did. So I mentioned it a bit previously in my section before, but essentially what that looked like was a 6-week paid internship essentially at the university with a researcher. Oh. It was really good. I actually got to do it with a lecturer that I had previously that year, so I'd already had a relationship with this lecturer. But yeah, it was absolutely so much fun. I think I was at that point in my journey where I wasn't sure whether research or maybe industry was kind of the right path for me. And so it was really reassuring to actually get to do this kind of research experience and working synthetically in a lab. So I was actually getting to do a lot of hands-on. I was experimenting with a lot of different techniques and kind of working with a brief, like a real kind of brief. I wasn't just, doing a random activity. Like this was actual real research that needed to be done. And so, I felt very professional. I felt like an adult. So yeah, it was really fun, yeah.
Well, I might just throw to you as well for this. So what placement opportunities have you found in your degree? Is that the work integrated or research integrated? I guess medical science. Are you doing the practical or are you more in the labs? Like it'd be great to kind of hear from you as well.
Yeah. So in medical science, actually, there's a prescribed elective that you can do. It's called SOMS 3001, and it's a research integrated learning elective. So I took that, and I went to UNSW Find a Supervisor, and I searched immunology, and I found the nicest looking supervisor, and then I emailed her and I said, can I do this course with you? And she was like, yeah, come on board. And she gave me a project looking at hepatitis C, which is a virus that affects the liver. And I did immunology and microbiology as my major, so I did a double major. And she was like, this would be really good for you because it touches on both your majors. So because you like viruses and because you like immunology, this is great. And then I spent a term in the lab just, plating and like pipetting. Just what the best part about it actually was that it was like an integration of everything I'd learned up till then. In like a real research project, like Sam said, like research that has to be done. And because it's medical research, it's about like health and, we're hoping to get a vaccine now
From your research? That's amazing.
Oh, so cool.
So I hope I did a little bit of I wasn't like totally on my own, but you know, they helped me through it, and I felt really supported. And it was really great because I was able to go with that supervisor for my honours project.
So it got continued on. Oh, I love that.
But different project.
Yeah.
Better project, in my opinion. I'm very happy. But so I think that's where that all started.
Nice. Thank you for that. Okay, so we're getting lots of questions about SciConnect. So Shannon, can you discuss SciConnect and a little bit about the program? Like I know that, the platform, and I know that there's been some enhancements since it was launched. So can you talk about the purpose of SciConnect and what it really is about for our students?
Yeah, no, of course. So it's so you would have heard me talk about the how we relaunched our science and advanced science degrees, and one of the things that came up over and over again talking to students was around just needing to know things at the right time and be connected to things like job opportunities or extracurricular activities that might help them to develop their skills along the way. And so SciConnect was kind of designed really with our students kind of in the centre of the design, as we worked with quite a few students who are taking science degrees to understand where, if you like, the kind of the pain points and the transitions across a degree is. And so the way it's designed is that it has a lot of onboarding materials when you're starting at university, interviews with lecturers and other students around just questions that you might be embarrassed to ask and so forth. But then as you transition through your degree, we have a real focus around employability as well. It's something that maybe science students don't always think about when they're coming in. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do with this? And so we're focused on collecting, the stories of a lot of our alumni, getting ideas of what they did, even not just like where they are now, they're really successful. It's like what were they doing when they were at university, what they were engaging with, to help our students get a bit of an idea of what might be good activities and things for them to be engaging with as they go throughout their program. And the final thing that it does is that it also it puts you kind of in the focus in terms of your professional development, and so it puts a lens around the skills and activities you're doing in your courses, but also all the great opportunities that UNSW offers for students outside the courses, and it acknowledges them. So we have this kind of tracker, it's this cool radial diagram that you can then use in a graduate portfolio or as you go through your degree to show prospective employers or just anybody about you and what your skills are, and also it gives you a bit of feedback in terms of where you maybe could develop and the choices you can make in your degree to kind of bump up some of those skills that maybe aren't reflecting who you are just yet. So yeah, it's quite a fun interactive platform. It's got a cute little mascot called STEMmy, who we love, and there's lots of different kind of personas of STEMmy. You can come in and do a quiz. So you can go online now actually and go to SciConnect at UNSW. You can find what persona you are of STEMmy if that's something you might want to do right now. So
I have a persona. I'm the communicator. So
environmentalist here. Yeah.
I think we have time for two more questions. So. This one's quite interesting, which I actually touched on earlier, but I don't think I have a high enough ATAR to get into the degree I'm interested in. Do you have any pathway options? So I definitely did talk about our pathway options. Sam, I might get you to touch a bit on the Gateway pathway, but what's great is at UNSW there are many opportunities for students that may not have achieved the ATAR that they were hoping for. So while we acknowledge that, there are pathways like the Gateway admissions pathway. UNSW College has now opened some pathways for students where they then can commence, once they successfully graduate the college program, that they can start in their second year, and that's for the Bachelor of Science. We also have TAFE pathways. And then also, I guess if you are interested in a degree that may have a higher ATAR than what you achieved, you could start in something that has a lower ATAR and do something that we call an internal program transfer after you achieve a certain amount of courses and grades. But I may throw to you quickly just to kind of talk about your experience through the Gateway pathway, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. So you're correct in saying that I did come through the Gateway pathway. Essentially, the Gateway pathway is a secondary pathway to UNSW, and it's available for students who either go to a Gateway school or live in a Gateway residential area. I came from a rural town. My school wasn't a Gateway school, but I was from a rural, like a Gateway residential area. So essentially that allowed me to get a reduced ATAR that I needed of about 10 points. So The original ATAR that I needed was 93, and that got reduced to 83, so that's a really considerable difference there. But also because I came from a residential area that was eligible, I was also entitled to a bursary of $5,000 to help me transition to university. So yeah, it's definitely a really useful and important scheme if you are eligible for it. And yeah, I would definitely suggest that you should check if you're eligible through the Gateway Admissions Pathway website. So yeah.
Thank you for that information. That was really insightful. Okay, last question. Shannon, I'm going to throw to you. I think we get this a lot. What career pathways are available for science graduates?
Yeah, it is a big one because I guess the question is, how long is a piece of string? And that's what's, I guess, really exciting about science. So maybe it's something, there isn't on the tin a label of a job that's there like you might see in other degrees, but that doesn't mean that there isn't just really amazing opportunities for students out there. One of the things around science and science degrees is that once you've graduated, you have a really valuable set of skills, especially around data and critical thinking, and that really shines through in all industries. And all industries are really looking for people who are able to not only find ways to answer really tough questions, but also actually know what the questions should be to start with. And that's where that real deep understanding of how to frame questions and how to frame problems comes in, and it's inherent to all science degrees. So we find our students, a lot of them go and work in finance and banking. There is a lot of, obviously, research and design that can be done in industry and beyond. And there's also a really core group of people who are out there helping big companies make decisions. So a lot of decision making that's based off of data, and data science and decisions is one of our big programs, of course. But any inherent understanding of data and information is that real kind of step up that a science graduate has. So I'm not giving you a specific career, sorry, because the answer is there isn't just one. It actually, science students can be anything. It sounds a bit cliche, but it's true. That's reality. So, yeah.
Thank you, everyone. That's all we have time for today. But I do really encourage you to keep the conversation going with us. If you can, come along to our open day on Saturday, the 6th of September. And like I said, get in touch with our future student advisors. And a big thanks is owed to Jez, Shannon, Joy, Sam, and Gaia. You've all added so much insight for the people who've joined us here today. And finally, thank you for joining us. We wish you all the very best in finishing your studies and all the best for your applications, and we hopefully will be seeing you on campus soon enough.